If you know why you're doing something and you feel like you have a genuine part to play in the success of the organization and you're given responsibilities, you will be able to deliver better, for longer, for stronger. And that's because you can see a goal. If I said, if you do this, and part of this is KPI setting, but most of it is about having a goal. We need to get this off the shelf in 6 months. How can you help us? Let's have that communication. Let's have that sharing. And then reinforcing purpose through storytelling. Storytelling is super interesting. We're doing, within the company at the moment, we're doing a little bit of work on storytelling. The reason why is because storytelling is the oldest thing. This is, again, something the book says. Storytelling is one of the oldest forms of communication and also the oldest forms of learning. I used to hunt bison. This is how I hunt bison. When I hunt bison like this, I get bison. But the reason why we need bison meat is to survive so that we can grow and be a community for longer. That's storytelling. What is your company storytelling? And if you have a story that reaches back into the past and is of the present, but also shows where you're going to go in the future, you will align your members with a clear mission and shared goals, because you're saying, this is where we've come from and this is where we're going. And where we're going is we want to help more people live fulfilling lives. And so that shared goal and that shared mission is super important. So they go through a couple of case studies. There's a case study on Pixar. And then this is something that I like to do. So we have something called the 25-75 rule. So I want to get paid and I want to do the work that I need to do for 75%. So I can effectively play for 25%. That doesn't mean going playing Balatro, which is my favorite game at the moment, or chess or football. What that means is that I get to go and do things that might lead to positivity in the future, whether that be a new system or a new mentality or a new product or service that we want to provide. But if I just work, I'm never developing anything. And if I'm only ever developing anything to make money, I am not doing this bit. I'm not failing, I'm not learning. So one of the things we're working on at the moment is, how do we help charities more? How do we, for people who are volunteering, how do we get them more involved? And another thing that we're working on at the moment is, how do we better engage with communities on projects? So how do we get them to talk to each other? How do we get out of the way of communities so that they can tell their own stories? So we're working on something like that. And what Pixar does is it employs a brain trust system. So it employs that encourages open and honest feedback, and it fosters a culture of continuous improvement. What it also does is it allows you to go off and do things. One of the key parts of a Pixar movie, and they do them less now, which is upsetting, is the small films at the start of a Pixar film. Lava, the one with the birds on the wire. They are playful, they're short, they're usually done to show the proof of concept. So if you look at Lava and you look at Moana, you will see that there are links between the water systems that they're using to build that short and Moana. And so by allowing people to just go and play and do the things that you need to do, that helps. But it needs to be in a system where people are allowed to play about feedback and understanding. The next one is the Navy SEALs. So obviously, if you're in a war zone with someone and you really need to work with them, and it goes into quite a lot of detail about what happened, and it's one of the few times it goes into, this is a problem and we're going to solve it with deep trust, is what they were calling it. It's more collaborative in a literal sense. So, people have an understanding of what it is they need to do, where they sit within a business. They know that they can have feedback and up and down the command chain, and that if they see something, they should say something, and we should be collaborative working on that.